Hello and welcome to this special episode of Top Gear in GTA 5. So today we are going to be finding out which of these sports cars is the best in the world.
And they are off, and the Rapid GT sounds like a pit bull as it stands all pretty neck and neck. So how this is going to work is all three cars are going to be compared to the Elegy, which is a free car in the game. It's a sports car that everybody uses, so for each second underneath the Elegy's time they will gain a point, and for each second over they will lose a point.
Okay, we've seen how fast these cars can go in a straight line, but it's time to see how fast they can go around a track. And that means handing them over to a tame racing driver. Some say that he has crippling depression, and others believe that he hasn't driven a car since he passed his driving test 5 years ago. All we know is he's called Chronic Moron.
Alright, so what we're going to show you here is a little bit of the first lap, and then we're going to show you their last lap, and I'll tell you the times at the end. The Massacro started off pretty well, it accelerates really good, it has good traction. The Chameleon, for an electric car, has terrible acceleration, and the Rapid GT just cannot handle around the corners. Right, they're all heading on to their last lap. The Chameleon is still struggling to put down any power, get a good rate of acceleration going. However, the Massacro is just storming ahead. The Rapid GT cannot handle well enough around the corner, so it loses a lot of time here, but then picks up again on the straights. Whereas the Chameleon's the complete opposite. It loses time on the straights, but then catches back up to the Rapid GT in the corners. And then of course we've got the Massacro that is just good the entire way around. Tight corner here. Back onto another straight. The Chameleon's going to fall behind. Come into the corner that we call the car crash, because more often than not you're going to have a car crash there. Coming round now to the final few corners, and the Rapid GT is behind. Can it catch up in the final corners? I don't think so. We've got the horn going there on some of the cars. The Massacro's across the line, next is the Chameleon, and then the Rapid GT.
Okay, we know they're all pretty quick around a track, but what happens if we take them all off-road?
The GT and the Massacro heading up into the first corner real fast. The Chameleon is still a little bit behind. The Rapid GT's having a bit of trouble handling around these corners, but it's keeping up. Looks like our driver's turned all the radios off now, seems he was getting put off. The Massacro is miles in front at this point, but the Chameleon is keeping up. The Rapid GT just has too much power, too little grip. They're all going off-road a little bit, they're all going off. Oh! And the GT's crashed! Can you believe it? The GT has crashed. And it's crashed again! simply cannot get handling down on these corners. Even the Chameleon with its fantastic handling is struggling around these corners. It's a tight track. But the Chameleon's across the line, followed by the Massacro, and the GT is still going. And finally, it reaches the finish line.
Alright guys, so there you have it. If you want one for speed, your Massacro is the one to go for. And if you want one for sheer power, you want to go for the Rapid GT. But if you're looking for handling, then the electric Chameleon is certainly the way to go. Alright, so there is one final test. One that I've kept hidden until this very end moment. And it is price. So as we all know, you can get the Elegy for £0, $0. You can get it completely free on one of the websites in-game. However, what are the price of these cars? So how this is going to work is each car is going to lose points for every £20,000 that it is over the 0. So we'll start off with the Chameleon. The Chameleon, you can buy it for $100,000, which means that loses 5 points in total. The Rapid GT is $145,000, which means it loses 7 points. And the Massacro, well, it's $295,000. And we all know what that means. It means it loses 15 points. So what does that really tell us? Well, the Elegy won on the off-road challenge. It was barely beaten in the race course and barely beaten once more on the drag race. And of course, it's free. So if you're looking to buy a cheap car on GTA Online that is a sports car, then I would say go for the Elegy, because it's the cheapest, it's the quickest off-road, and all round it's just a great car. So thank you very much for tuning in to this week's GTA 5 Top Gear, and we'll see you in the next one.